And if you didn't know, now you know. Hitmakers. In the building again, and you know we in it to win. When you hitmakers, ain't nothing making the hit.
I'm with the go.
There you go.
Go, dumb.
Oh, my bad, y'all. Man, you know what I'm saying? Sorry for us having fun. You know, that's what we do over here. We are back. It's the Behind Enemy Lines part 2. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Frankie Baby's back. You know what I'm saying? AKA AJ, AKA the two-time. Count him. 2-time.
Speaking of which, hold on. Let me go get Bay. I'm going to introduce you. Hold on.
Oh, my God. Keep your clothes on this time.
So, man, you ready? If y'all ready to hear about some power line, when Frankie Baby think about this favorite Rocky.
There you go.
There it is.
It's Bay right here.
There you go.
You know?
How do you feel, man? That's a good start. It's good to start off right now. How do you feel?
Being a 2-time champ.
Feel great, man. You know, I last time I had Bay, took her on national TV, not once, not twice, but 3 times. I'm still waiting for somebody to tell me what other guy that's an independent wrestler has ever taken their title belt on national TV. Don't worry, I'll wait. And you know,
come on, man. Cold with it.
Frank, and then that's the list. So when you know, Bay's been on ESPN, she's been on NFL Network, she's been on FS1. You know, I was just on ESPN a couple weeks ago discussing draft breakdown. So that went really well. I'm sure a lot more opportunities are going to come out of that. You know, Bay is she's one of them.
Good luck charm right there, actually.
My brother, look at you broke wrestling. You broke the internet.
Yeah, man.
Oh, when I did that?
Yeah, well, you dog, keep it on. Keep it on. This is like we said, this is a family show.
This is we got to keep this rated G. You know what I
mean? Standards and practices. I feel you.
Hey, man.
Hey, you got anybody in mind you wanna tussle with for that title?
Yeah, I do. I got a couple people in mind. You know, there's a lot of people that have never even heard of the Sausage Castle, which is the #1 party house in America. I actually used to live there. I lived there for 6 months in between when I sold my house after my divorce and when I signed with WWE. And it's basically the best way I can describe it. It's the Playboy Mansion.
Oh,
damn.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's in the middle of nowhere, Aspetuba, Florida. My boy Mike Busey, who is a proud brother out there. You know what I'm saying? He's not really a brother, but he might as well be. You know what I'm saying? And he has done a lot for not just, you know, his fans, you know, fans of the castle, but, you know, for me and for a lot of people in his life. You know, when we did the Most Wanted Treasure show, I took them to the castle because he has the ring from WrestleMania 3.
Damn. Whoa. How did he get that?
Well,
I bought it, nigga.
He got it from a sale from someone who got it from the Yokozuna family estate. But you know, in typical WWE fashion, they couldn't confirm that it was the WrestleMania 3 ring, but they couldn't confirm it wasn't either. So,
hey man, that's Macho Man's blood right over there in the corner.
For all intents and purposes, until somebody else tells me otherwise and shows me they can prove it, it's the ring Hogan slammed Andre in, and it's also the ring that I started my wrestling career in. I actually started my career at the castle. He has these weekend-long parties where he is like throwing crazy events, and there's all these different events like hot dog eating contest, like scavenger hunt, and you know, sometimes there's a flag football tournament and like go-kart racing and
dang, man.
You know, basketball tournament, dodgeball. You know, it's just an adult Disney World, basically.
Yeah, like a men's summer camp. Like
it's like a really big summer camp. And if you just look up the Sausage Castle, I mean, it's been on Jackass, it's been on Tiger King, it's been on Vice. You know, everybody from Post Malone to Waka Flocka to Joyner Lucas has shot, you know, stuff there. So like, it's a big, really cool place. And Mike's been my boy for years. And one of the events he had, you know, 3 years ago was, you know, he was still doing the wrestling show. And you know, he was like, yo, I'm doing this wrestling show. You should come through, be on it. Because at the time I was an NFL free agent and I was trying to get back into the NFL at the time. And, you know, I went out there and I had a good show. It was fun. And, you know, I get in the back and the guys in the back, they're like, man, so where do you work out of? And I'm like, nah, bro, this is just, you know, me, you know, doing my thing, like having a good time. I play football. They're like, oh, so, you know, where'd you train? I'm like, nah, bro, you're not hearing me. Like, this is just, you know, I just went out. How it's supposed to look. I'm a fan. You know, I've been a fan my whole life, and I'm very coordinated. Obviously, I played in the NFL for 6 years. So they were like, well, I ain't going to tell you what to do because, you know, you still got the NFL going for you, but you should probably give wrestling a try. And they had been in the business for like 10 years. So at that point, I'm like, yeah, I should give wrestling a try. So literally 2 weeks later, I enroll and mind you, that night I debuted a faction called The Row.
Ooh, is that long-term booking? Long-term booking.
Long-term booking. I debuted a faction called The Row, and at the time, my character was called Sugar Bear. You know, I'm Suge Knight, who I obviously look like, right? So, and to be clear, I don't actually look like Suge Knight. I look like the guy that plays Suge Knight in the movie, but that's neither here nor there. And you know, a little long-term booking there when I introduced. And you know, a year later was my last show at SCW, where I got burned alive in a casket match to Brian Idol. You know, and then obviously that led into WWE, which led into the HitMakerZ, which became Hit Row, which is now again the HitMakerZ. And so I had, and that whole time, Brian Idol was the champ, never lost the belt over that whole 2.5 years, almost 3 years span. And then we had an opportunity to lock up once again for the 6th time for the SCW title. And I came away victorious. And now I am the first ever two-time SCW champion.
Man, the prodigal son came home. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. What a LeBron James story for that SCW title, man. that is
Akron, you know.
You know what I'm saying? Just a kid from the CW.
You know.
Hey, I got a question. You think you're gonna take the SCW title to Impact?
I mean, I would love to. I mean, we've had conversations. It's been, you know, the thing is like a lot of these, just because you get released, these wrestling promotions, they already have plans of who they want to bring in and who they want to, you know, push in a storyline. Like, you know, Moose himself has been trying to get the HitMakerZ to Impact. Moose is, while he was the champ, you know, Moose is a longtime friend of mine because of the NFL, you know.
Word.
You know, forgot about that.
A lot of
people, that he played.
Yeah, there's people, and I tell him all the time he could never block me. You know, he was an old line. I would have ran through him. I'd have ran through him like a hot knife through butter. But
I ran through Marcus Pouncey. I don't know if you know that. You know who that is? Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Choke slammed him. Yeah. Moved him out the way. Like this. Excuse me. I said, how you doing, man? So I need to get over here. Let me talk to the quarterback real quick. Hey man, I love to see that, yo. Yeah. But you got to defend that,
especially now, because now he's only like 250, and I'm 360. I'm heavier than I was when I was in the NFL. He's about 60 pounds lighter, so right now he definitely don't want those problems.
Oh, that's lightweight.
The O-line, D-line. You know, we are open and available to doing any company for real. It's just we need the right fit for us. It's just. We know what we created, man. We know that nobody help us create Hit Row. Didn't nobody write a promo for us. Didn't nobody make an entrance song for us. Didn't nobody do nothing for us. Didn't nobody tell us how to dress. Like, we know that. So, like, we know what we bring to the table. Have y'all ever seen anything like Hit Row before?
Nope.
Have you seen anything like Hit Row since? So it's like, we know what we worth. So we waiting on that right call. And when people want to make money, when companies decide they want to make money and they want the notoriety of somebody that can be on ESPN any given day, how many wrestlers in this business can be on ESPN on any given day? Don't worry, I'll wait.
That's a good point. That's a good point right there.
How many that aren't put there by WWE can get it themselves? Because I've done it for years. I've been on NBC, ABC, Fox, FS1, NFL Network, ESPN. I've done it all. So it's like CBS. I've done it all. So it's like, you want the notoriety? We're available. We're just not going to take peanuts.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
You know what I'm saying?
Put it right in the corner. Just bought a house. Wherever you sign.
Just bought a house too. It's like,
just put that on there like it was on ESPN. I said, oh my God.
I'm chilling. You feel me? Like, this is so like, I'm chilling in the crib. If you don't want the Hitmakers, that's cool. Brianna's still gonna be making money in Columbia. Tahuti's still gonna be making money in Atlanta on his acting tip, like he has been. I'm still gonna be making money sitting in the crib doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we're cool. But if you decide that you want to make money with us, we're available.
You seemed to imply you had a little bit of downtime. You checked out Kendrick's album yet?
Of course, man.
Yeah.
Of course. Kendrick be spitting, bro. And Kendrick be talking about content that people don't want to hear, though. Like when I say don't want to hear, I don't mean like hip hop fans don't want to hear it. I mean like the general public doesn't want to have the discussion. That's why he does the whole skits throughout the entire album with the tap dancing, saying stop tap dancing around the subject. The man is a genius. Now,
exactly. I
never thought I'd say this, and trust me, I am a huge Future fan and a huge Kendrick fan. And I have been listening to Kendrick's album nonstop. But that Future album has not lost any spins in the process. I'm telling you. I never liked you. Lord.
Bruh. The toxicity just comes over you like venom. You know what I'm saying? It just takes over your body. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, it's a man holiday when Future drops it. And people was like, oh, I want to hear Future sing it. Like, no, man, I want Future being the worst human being on earth.
Misogynistic, all that shit.
Future is back, man. It's like, he never left for real. Like, he never left. But, Future got a formula. This is my favorite Future album probably since when he dropped the Future Hendrix dual album. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, that was
a masterpiece.
You know what I'm saying? So like, that joint is getting hella spins in my whip. But the new Kendrick is everything too. I ain't gonna hold you. That new Kendrick is special, bro. Kendrick is one of the, like, me. I believe that I'm the best rapper on earth. Like,
facts. I
think that if I did a song with Future, do I think that he would slide on that joint? Absolutely. But do I think bar for bar I would get him out the way? For sure. Like, and I don't have no doubt about that in my mind. But Kendrick, if me and Kendrick's one of them cats, Kendrick, Cole, Conway the Machine, Benny the Butcher, you know what I'm saying? Like, these guys are guys that, like, these are guys that I know I got to bring my A game or I might get ate alive. You feel what I'm talking about?
Thanks, bro. Like, bro, I knew Kendrick was that dude when he was rapping over a free-form jazz beat.
Yeah.
And the shit sounded smooth. I was like,
dick ain't free.
Yo, bro. I
said, slid on that joint.
I'm like, bro, it's free-form jazz?
My mom was like, she was like, what the? So Kendrick made my mom go like this. He's saying some stuff. They like that other stuff you listen to. I was like, Mom, that was King Von. Please don't disrespect him, all right?
Kendrick be spitting though. Kendrick is spitting.
Like, what's going on
about the toxic relationship? I can't remember the name of the song with the girl on there.
Oh, We Cry Together.
We Cry Together. That joint is crazy,
bro.
That is crazy. And the funny thing is,
we all been there.
The funny thing is, like, the first time I heard the song, you know how it ends. It ends with them, getting their freak on. Mm-hmm. And while I'm listening to the song, the first time I ever heard it, I was like, this is going to end just like Baby Boy, where they arguing the whole time. And then it cuts right to them getting it on. And I knew it was going to end just like that. And it still didn't disappoint. That song is crazy.
Bro, 9 times out of 10, that's how an argument going in with your old lady.
Yeah. You gonna fight, and then you gonna look at each other, just be like, "Hey,
You pissed
you
off?
hungry?
Yeah. You pissed off? Yeah. All right, let's do something.
Let's just do something." You know what I mean?
Yo,
Either that or like, "You hungry?"
You hungry?
Hey,
Yo, well, we're on the subject of hip hop. Like, bro, I wanted to ask you this last time, but I think we ran out of time. What's your wildest hip hop take that you got?
Wildest hip hop take that I got. Depends on what you consider wild. Like I got Future in my top 5, and people people think I'm crazy for that. But if you look at the numbers and you look at how many great albums does Future have, and forget the albums, include the mixtapes too,
bro.
How many bad ones does he have? Is the question. Exactly.
Yo,
there's none.
Mixtapes was
Like,
so good.
Even his jumps like 7 Rings or like Evol or like, you know what I'm saying, like Beast Mode 2, like they're not classics, but if you put them joints on, like when Beast Mode 2 came out, Wi-Fi lit, I was going crazy with the Wi-Fi lit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's in my top 5. Some people consider that crazy. I don't. Another one that people, it also actually, it's funny you say that because it involves Kendrick, is I personally think Kendrick's To Pimp a Butterfly is the best hip hop album of all time. And
Damn,
I think that because there's 18 tracks on there, and all 18 tracks, none of them sound like the one before it. None of them sound like any other song on there. They all cover a completely different aspect of not just the culture, but like living in America in and of itself in general. The content that he covers on there is like from when he's talking about taxes to the song These Walls were institutionalized on there. You know what I'm saying? Like he has songs that nobody could ever duplicate, nobody could ever replicate on there. And I honestly think it's the best hip hop album of all time. And I say that, and Kendrick, people think I'm crazy. Kendrick's not in my top 5. Kendrick is in my top 10. But my top 5 is Jay, Big, M, Nipsey, and Future. So you know what I'm saying? Like,
you can't beat that. I mean, that's a top 5 that you can put against anybody.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, that's like what you said about the Pimp a Butterfly. Not a single song sounds the same. I was listening to that back last week when they was building anticipation for the new album to come out, and like literally from like King Coon to You Ain't Gotta Lie, everything sounds completely different. Yo, fast, bro.
You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie to kick it, my nigga. You ain't gotta try so hard. Hey, I'm telling you, that joint slides.
Like all the way. On both of those. I'm like sticking on that subject. Like
yeah, man. So I've been watching Mega the Band. I was getting hot, right? Watching Mega the Band. And I was wondering if you and the Hitmakers could redo Bad Boy This, Bad Boy That.
I mean, we can do anything for real. I mean,
I knew I was gonna get it.
Like,
I wanted to ask you that last time.
For real, we can do anything. Like, you got to realize the Hit Row soundtrack, the theme song. I wrote that song. I wrote it in about 10 minutes. We recorded it in about an hour and a half. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the HitMakerZ theme song, I wrote that in about 10 minutes. We recorded it in about 3 hours, and that's only because Brianna arrived 2 hours after we finished recording. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yo.
So she came down and laid down her verse like ODB and left. Like,
yeah, her flight was delayed. And so, true story, this is how that song came together. So I already had my part done. I wrote it. I wrote the hook. I already did my part. Tahuti comes in and lays his part because he lives like 10 minutes from me. And then Brianna actually lives in Cartagena, Colombia. So she was flying in because we had a show with MCW, and it was our debut show as the HitMakerZ. So we needed a song to be done. We didn't have an interest music other than that yet. And we would have just came out to my song Heisenberg, which was my interest music on the indies before I got to WWE. And Brianna's flight was supposed to land at like midnight. And then it didn't land till like literally like 2. So by the time she got her bags and got to my crib, it was like 3. Mind you, we had like a 7 a.m. flight to Baltimore that very morning, right? So she gets here at like 3. We're in the studio till like 4. I'm editing the song from like 4 to 5 just putting the master on it, mixing it up. Around 5:15, the song is done. Everybody grabs their bags, jumps in the car. We go to the airport, catch the 7:00 flight to Baltimore, go to Baltimore that night. And everybody else, as soon as we got to Baltimore, we had like 4 hours to kill. Everybody else went in the room and went to their hotel room and took a nap. I ended up going to see my Nana and going to Chick-fil-A with her. And then after that, got like an hour's of sleep, went back into the car, drove to the show, tore the house down, had the people on their feet, going crazy for the return. And then, it was a great time. But it was definitely an absolutely wild experience. But the easiest part of it was making the song, which is the whole point of what I was saying.
Yeah.
Bro, seeing y'all make y'all return, get back together there.
This is not make-believe. This is...
Yo, look at that. Look at the plaques on the back wall.
That's 1 million streams on my 69 mixtape on SoundCloud, right? This is a million, which is now 1.5 million streams on my album, my second album, Free Agent. This is 1.5 million streams now, actually 2 million streams on my debut album, OTA. Up there, if you look up here, it's 500,000 streams, almost close to 1 million streams now for the Super Bowl song I made for the Chiefs 2 years ago. That song would have been 10 million streams if they would have not lost to the Bucks.
Hey, man, it's Tom Brady.
Y'all fucking the money up, bro.
Like, I played with Tom, too, in New England, so I wanted to text him and be like, dog, you couldn't let me have this? Like
yo, you fucking the money up.
You got 6 rings already. You needed the 7th, bro? Like,
this.
So, look, for real, what was supposed to happen was I was supposed to go to Kansas City if they won a Super Bowl and be a part of the parade, because the company that paid me to do that song is owned by Tyreek Hill. That's why he's on the cover art, too. So...
shit!
So I was gonna be in the parade. I was gonna shoot a music video. I was gonna do a remix with Tech Nine because he's from Kansas City.
Yeah.
Like, it was gonna be crazy, but they took the L, so it kind of like ruined everything.
Listen, why do bad things always happen to good people? Damn,
Tom Brady, you needed a 7th ring, bro. Come on, bro.
Come on, bro. That ain't even all that. Ain't even necessary, bro.
Bro, you already got 6. You already the GOAT. Like, come on, bro.
Like, you already left. Like, you already said you was gonna leave, and then you gonna come back again?
Yeah. Like, come on, son. Like, geez, Louise, bro.
Man left one job, came back, and said he already got a job lined up after he leaving his job again.
And now he getting a gig that pay him more than football. It's like crazy. That's another thing. Is like people are like, well, why aren't you out wrestling more? Oh, you're not signed with any contract or wrestling contract. Like, you must be wasting away. Like, bruh, there's 10 times more TV. There's 10 times more money in TV talking, which I'm already have an agent for and already do consistently, than there is in wrestling. Unless you're Brock Lesnar or Roman Reigns or The Rock or someone of that level. If you are a mid-tier to high, even upper, like lower high-tier performer, if you're making less than, like, how much money does Stephen A. Smith make a year?
Yo,
Stephen A. Smith makes more money than anybody in wrestling.
Man,
look at this, man.
But he might be like at 12, 10, just to pull up.
Let's see.
Look this up.
Because I'm interested.
Yeah, Stephen A.
All right, we looking at 12 million
a year.
We looking at 12 million a year.
No bumps, just bad takes.
But that's it.
That's it.
Except for saying the Golden State Warriors is going to win, but you know what I'm saying? That was the only right one.
Bro, my man is making $12 million a year for Pat Bev to just tell him to shut up on live television.
Like,
I take that job any day of the week.
That's what I'm saying. So like I'm already working towards that part of my career. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I was doing it before I got to WWE, and I just got sidetracked because I was wrestling and I was all in on wrestling until wrestling wasn't all in on me. So then I was like, all right, cool. I'll make wrestling a side gig. That ain't no problem to me. I'll just go make money doing something else.
Hell yeah, man. Do what you love, but also get paid for it too, bro.
But it's the thing is, when you know how it is, when you're a black man, you get held to a different standard. You're a black man, you get held to a different standard. Just like the whole thing, like they talking about right now that, they saying Naomi and Sasha are unprofessional. Ain't that the
That
word?
was where we are going to take it to next.
Bruh, man.
What are your thoughts and feelings on that?
Okay, if you want to say that they're unprofessional, that's your personal opinion too. But I'm going to say this. Standing up for yourself, believing in yourself, ain't unprofessional. I was called unprofessional too when I said that they shouldn't have fired Brianna.
Sometimes it's sticking to your principles.
When I was when I stood up for that black woman, I was called unprofessional. It didn't have Brianna, mind you, Brianna being released didn't affect me and my pockets at all. Like, her contract was not to mine. We didn't have the same contract. Like, I was still gonna get paid, but it was the right thing to do because I went out of my way to make something special with her. And I didn't like her getting kicked to the curb like she was lesser than. But I'm the asshole though, right?
And bro, when that happened, like the next week, y'all was still doing your thing, but you can always tell when you remove an ingredient from the soup. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Bree was the integral part, and like I said, bro, I don't need to wrestle. Like, if you're not going to book the Hitmakers, if you're not booking, and I got more than enough people that have reached out to me that asked me to do their show, and I got more than enough proof of it in my emails, right? And every time I'm like, yo, yeah, I'll do your show, but if I'm gonna do your show, you got to bring on Brianna and Tahuti, because I am trying to look out for my people, because they're not getting the same amount of opportunities that are being offered to me, and I personally think that's bullshit. But that's not my call to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't want the Hitmakers and you just want me, that's cool. But I ain't coming unless you bring them or you drop a big bag on my head. You see what I'm saying? You feel me? So, like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe is wrong. Maybe me going out of my way to help my people is wrong. Maybe when they ran all the stories saying I was a bad guy while I was at the canned food drive for the homeless shelter that I feed children at, that they actually decided they didn't want to help with, maybe I'm the bad guy. Or potentially, maybe there's a narrative.
It definitely feels like there's a narrative, because we see other wrestlers walk out of situations all the time, and it's never said like, yo, they must be difficult to work with, or they not really that good or whatever. But when it feels like, when it's us, like when we saw like for instance, like Keith Lee, when he left, it was he must have had attitude problems.
Haven't these people said that Keith had attitude problems? Bro, Keith is the most mellow brother I ever met in my life. Them jokes when they was like, Keith Lee looked like he said indubitably all the time. Like, that's really who Keith is. So for him to be disgruntled and for him to be hard to work with, bro, it's the narrative, bro.
That was strongly the narrative that was pushed. We saw it pushed with you. We saw it pushed with so many other people. We saw it. And then if it's not pushed, like, okay, well, they were difficult to work with, they weren't really that good. Like we saw thrusted upon Big Swole.
Swole wasn't that good. Okay, now Swole's not good. Keith Lee's hard to work with. Leo Rush is a head case. It's always that way when I'm difficult to work with. It's always that way when it's us. But that's how it always will be. I mean, that's not going nowhere. That's why a shooter can go into Buffalo and kill black people for being black, and then Fox News runs a story saying that it's because video games are too realistic.
Like, bro,
being pent up in the house too long. Like what excuse that you get?
You know what it is. You know what it is. But today it's always gonna be that. That's not going nowhere. That's not going nowhere. Like, tell me the difference between. I'm sorry. Tell me the difference between Eric Garner and what happened in Minnesota. Both said I can't breathe. Why was it when it happened to Eric Garner over selling loose cigarettes, it wasn't that big a deal? because at the time nobody was home during the pandemic. Everybody was, people weren't bored. But you know what it is, man. There's no difference in between. Man, Rick James made a song called "Mr. Policeman" about police brutality in 1982. Come on, man. You know what it is. That's 8 years before I was born. When I was 12 years old, me and my father were held at gunpoint by police officers at McDonald's for being black in the wrong place at the wrong time. We was in a white truck, and they was looking for two brothers in a white van. And the fact that it's not the same car didn't matter. We was just two brothers. And I'm 12 years old. I ain't got no facial hair, but I'm like 6 foot, probably like 225. But I'm clearly 12 years old. You can tell a 12-year-old in the face. You see what I'm saying?
Facts, bro. Like,
we still get out. You know how it is. You know what it is.
Exactly. Like, I feel like we all have that one story that happened to us at a young age, where we kind of like had something happen to us with law enforcement. Like, I remember I was probably maybe 9 years old, and I heard a police officer refer to me and my family as the N-word, like openly. And so, like, we all have that distrust, and it's never anything that seems to be repaired. It's always, well, I don't see what's wrong with y'all. Everybody else likes us, and it's like, no, you haven't tried to make amends for what happened in the past. But
you know what's funny is, like, people ask me, my boy has a pickup truck, and he said, "You don't like pickup trucks?" And I don't. And the reason I don't like pickup trucks ain't because they're bulky. It's because that every single time I've ever been called nigga out of a moving vehicle, it was out of a pickup truck.
Bro.
Sure. Everybody had a couple of them.
Lift kit, all that.
You know what I'm saying? And it's happened at least 6 or 7 times. I mean, one time I guess it technically wasn't directed at me because I was in high school and I was dating a white girl and they yelled "nigger lover" at her, but they were saying it for real because of me. So like,
bro, yeah, it's been.
It gotta get better.
Change.
It gotta get better before it get worse. That's why I banged with what Sasha did. And they were like, "Yeah, nigga, what you gonna do?" And that's what I love about it the most, because she's like, "Nigga, what you gonna do?"
Yeah, she knows, like, running back and forth. She knows her worth.
I don't know the backgrounds of what happened, and I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, and we don't know what was the real reason. Like, everybody gonna have a story. Everybody gonna have a reason why they did something. Everybody they know the reason that they did something. But like, at the end of the day, Sasha and Naomi felt that what they did was the right thing to do. And if you agree with it or you don't agree with it, that was their call. Are they probably going to get punished for doing that? Yeah, probably. Are they going to come back? I would assume that they'd come back from it. But like, you never know, man. That's the thing, is that like, we're getting to the point now in wrestling and just in the world where like, people are tired of taking the shit that they've been taking for forever. Yeah. Like, people are saying, "Oh, don't nobody want to work anymore. Don't nobody want to work at fast food joints anymore." No, don't nobody want to work for $7 an hour no more.
Exactly. That's what it is.
You know what I'm saying? Like, don't that no more. Don't nobody want to be cool with being scared every time a police officer drives by them no more. That's what it is. Don't nobody want to be cool with being blatantly disrespected at their workplace no more. Like,
exactly.
Especially when you're making the money off our backs and we the ones that's selling. Dog, man, we can't help that, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
that is,
it's like people
audacity.
People tell me that AJ, he's so hard to work with. Anyone who's ever actually worked with me and didn't just condescend me the whole time, like, knows I'm actually very easy to work with. I don't do well with condescension. You know why? Because things like that would happen not just in WWE, but all over the place. For example, when I first got to WWE, I had been on TV for 10 years. And when I was there, people would be like, "Well, you know, when the red light's on the camera, that means that camera's on." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." They're like, "How do you know?" Fuck you mean, how do I know? I've been doing it for a decade. Like, it's not hard. And also, it's not hard to figure out if you just pay attention. But, like, I've been on TV for a decade, bro. Like, the thing is, Seth Rollins actually said a really poignant point yesterday, and it was in contrast to what Booker T was saying about him. And I love Booker, but Seth made a good point. Seth was like, man, I worked my ass off to get to WWE, making no money, losing money, long drives, wrestling in high school gyms and UAWs and all these different things to build a name that got erased the moment I signed with WWE. I felt that because it was like I did so much before I got to WWE, whether it be music, whether it be the NFL, whether it be TV, whether it be both my degrees from Maryland, whether it be all my community outreach that I did, all the charity basketball games and all the things that I did to build up my community. And I got to WWE and it was just, oh, you just a wrestler. And I was just like, at first I was like, you know what, I'm really trying to make it here, and I put up with a lot more things. And I got stories for days about ways I was disrespected that I've just kept to myself because that's just the kind of dude that I am. Like, I'm not finna go out unless somebody knows about the subject and asks me about the subject. Like, I'm talking about like from people in catering completely putting my life at risk to people, coaches utterly disrespecting me, to things, all of those natures. And I have never told these stories, and I don't plan to tell these stories. I plan to thug it out and take it with me, but like, don't pretend like I'm difficult to work with when I got a million other times where how about people that are directing the show not knowing the difference between two black people, like how about things like that? Like, there's tons of those stories that I could tell, but I don't, because that's the difference between being a real one and being someone who understands, the actual repercussions of telling these stories isn't even going to be worth what I get out of telling them. So it's like,
exactly.
I keep it G. I keep it on my chest. I make sure that I keep it 100 at all times. And if that makes me hard to work with and that makes me difficult, then that's just who I am, bro. If standing up for Brianna when she got released makes me an asshole, then I'm just be an asshole, bro. Because I'm gonna stand up for people that stand up for me. Because all the times where I was disrespected or something happened that I didn't like, or some wild shit that really should have never happened in real life in any workplace whatsoever happened, and I just took it on the chin, is because Brianna was like, calm down. It's gonna be okay. We can handle this. And she still do that to this day. This past weekend we had a signing, and Brianna was like, Brianna knew I was about to go off, and Bree was like, no, don't do that. Let's get this money. Everything's cool. And I'm like, you know what, Bree, you're right. I stand up for mine. Like, I don't leave my people behind. I never have. I don't.
Bro.
That's just me. And if other people can't relate, then they can't relate.
Like, bro, it's always important to have someone in your crew to be like, hey, man, chill out. Chill out before shit gets wild. And, it was good that you stood up for it and everything like that, because we don't see a lot of that going on. We like see people get cut, and it's like, okay, well, I still got to do my thing, and it's rare to see someone put their neck on the line like you did for her.
And I'm always gonna do that. Like, and the thing is, it's like, it's a shame to me that more people aren't willing to do that.
Sick.
It's a shame to me. So people are so self-involved, and they call me all types of names, and they're so self-involved. They'll work with somebody for 2 years, that person gets released, and they're just like, all right, well, what's next for me? Like, come on, man. Like,
bro.
I understand it's a business, but I can get business anywhere. You know,
bro,
and I continue to show that I can. So
yesterday's price is not today's price.
Today's price. Once again, like I said, I was on ESPN 2 weeks ago. What other wrestler has been on ESPN this year?
Facts. Like, bro, you hear it all. Like, you've heard it all the time. Like, yo, this is the wrestling business, not the wrestling friendness or whatever the fuck they want to say. But you could make friends, like Xavier Woods said it. Like, you can make friends and you can make money at the same time. Why you got to shit on people to get to the place you want to get to? Like, bro,
there's enough money for everybody. There's enough money out here for everybody.
And it's not even just the fact that there's enough money for everybody. It's like, what do you like? What do you gain other than a pat on the for turning your back on somebody that created with you? Like the people that released Brianna, the people that decided that she wasn't needed, they wasn't with me in my studio at 3:00 in the morning putting songs together. They wasn't with me in my living room at 2 a.m. writing promos for Hit Row and having everybody go, damn, y'all promos are crazy. Yeah, because we put the work in, bro. Like, we didn't just show up and be like, all right, this is what we're going to do today. We didn't mail it in. We didn't try to, like, we was pitching plans. The War Games match, us versus Legado, 3 dudes and a girl versus 3 dudes and a girl War Games match. We was pitching that in, like the week after the feud started. You know what I'm saying? Like, once they
That's where we thought it was all gonna go.
Well, that was the first thing I called. I was like, War Games. I need it.
Some people didn't even know, like people on TV didn't even know that Legado was looking for a girl to have. But like backstage, we knew. And from the beginning, we was like, yo, that would be dope. Like, never intergender War Games match, never been done before. Like, that would be crazy. And, you know, we pitched that. Like, for Halloween Havoc, we had a bunch of ideas. Like, we pitched ideas all the time. I was going to come out, I think Swerve is going to come out like Papa Legba from American Horror Story, I think it is. And then I was going to come out as Papa Shango.
Oh,
right?
that'd been lit. Ooh.
I was going to come out as like some voodoo priestess. And Tahuti was going to come out as the voodoo brother from what's the Disney movie with the frog, the princess and the
you come out as Shadow Man.
Yeah.
Shadow Man.
Yeah, this all planned out. Like I reached out to Ben Brown at the warehouse in Connecticut and be like, yo, you got the Papa Shango hat and cane that I can walk out with, you know what I'm saying? Like we was gonna do the whole thing. Like we was pitching things forever and it was just like they never had nothing for us, man. I mean, even after Brianna got released, we went to Connecticut and we had to beg John Laurinaitis to put us on the Christmas tour. We were like, yo, you know, we want to work house shows. We want to work house shows. Like we want to work on our craft. Like we want to.
And that's a rarity.
Like we want to do that. We went out of our way to tell them that. Like we were asking them, yo, even after we got drafted, we're like, all right, so we're gonna start house shows this week. They're like, no, we're gonna take our time. But like even before we got drafted, like they had Bronson Steiner on house shows in England because they had a plan for him. See what I'm saying? Like they didn't have a plan for us. We just got over, so they just like had to do something with us.
Yeah, it was like, oh, this is cool right here. I'm gonna put this right over here, and then I'm gonna go back playing with other toys that I got over here.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was just, there was never a plan for us, and sad. It really is sad, but like at the end of the day, what we did will never be done again. And honestly, we hope to get the opportunity to do it again in WWE, if not in WWE, to do it somewhere else. Like, but at the end of the day, we're not beholden to wrestling. Like wrestling, if wrestling don't give a shit about us, then we got
Facts, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
This is my shit. You know what I'm saying? My life is my life. You know what I'm saying? And my life don't need you if I don't want you.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but like, bro, like, yo, when we reached out to you, like, yo, the interaction was smooth. One of the nicest guys we ever dealt with. If anybody else says any otherwise, you come talk to the Public Enemies podcast. That's on God.
Anyone who's ever actually worked with me knows that I'm so easy to work with, bro. I have the audacity of believing in myself and pitching ideas. Like,
how dare you? Man, how dare you? How dare you think that you're the greatest? You know what I'm saying? That's what everybody should do.
Yeah, Stone Cold said it, bro. If you don't want to be the world champion, you don't want to be in the main event, what you doing here, bro?
That's what I'm saying. But everybody says that, but then the first time that you aren't cookie cutter Mr. Nice Guy, like, you're public enemy number one. And I did that on purpose, wordplay.
My fucking guy. we thank you. And on that note, we thank you for your time. We've stolen enough of your time tonight. Is there anything you want to plug? Anything you want to anything you doing?
SCW's back open for business July 3rd at the Sausage Castle, Hitsville, USA. Card TBD. Got some pretty big names that's gonna be there though. It's gonna be a good show. I don't know if I'm defending Bay, but the Hitmakers will be in the main event, and I'll let you know how that shakes out. But yeah, keep checking out for Hitsville, USA, July 3rd in Astortula, Florida, right outside of Orlando, and it's going to be a 24-hour 4th of July party to follow. So if you like to watch wrestling and then you like to go party and have a good time, the Sausage Castle is the place for you.
Hey man, you ain't got to defend that belt if you want to, man. Champion's prerogative. All right. I might just show up and sit in the rafters.
I'm probably about to defend it at a pool party Memorial Day weekend.
Bro, call rough out there.
Hey man, champion does what the champion does.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you know that.
Appreciate
All right, man.
We're gonna get at you, man. We really
yeah.
appreciate this, dog. And y'all, thank y'all for listening and all that. You know what I'm saying? We don't usually do this. Usually we got Graham to hold our hands and do this. So you probably gonna be like, oh, you guys are there doing that. But yo, man, thank y'all for listening for part 2. We're probably gonna do a part 3 or part 3. It's probably gonna happen. We got to talk after this, especially after the 4th of July shit. I want to know about that because Florida get wild, especially when it get really, really hot, like that sticky hot. So yeah, I got to know about that, man.
Yeah. You can follow us on Twitter at the enemies PE3, and you can follow us on Instagram at
Public Enemies Pod. You know what I mean? And you can follow me. That's my name. You know what I'm saying? In the corner. Yeah, that's me. And you can follow Graham at Oh My God Graham in all platforms. You know what I'm saying? The king of the church. Church emoji.
Church. He be giving tabernacle.
Bro, there's one more, and I just want him to not post a positive energy to y'all. I just want like negative energy to all y'all. But that's another story. Yo, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at _the son of Mars _. And we will see y'all on the next episode, man. Y'all take it easy.
Yeah.